Hey everybody, what is going on? It is me, your boy, the Brown Town here, and today I'm going to be talking about Pet Sematary, the new one, the remake, the reboot thingy. Yeah, so I just went to watch it, literally just finished watching it about like 10 minutes ago or something, and it was good. It was good. I'm not going to say it was bad, but see, I've never read the original book, but I do know what happens in the book. And while this one adds, because first off, I need to talk about the original movie, and while the original movie isn't good per se, it's it's the main actor is pretty awful, but it's got some good moments. It's got some real cheesy moments. The original probably stays more true to the books from what I know of the books than this one, but this one adds things from the books. Like in the original book, there's this thing called the Wendigo, that thing curse the pet cemetery. So it's like they add things in, but they change so much. It's kind of weird, but I'm not talking about this from a book fan because I've never read the book, but I'm just letting people know that it's definitely takes some liberties when it comes to the books. Okay, all right, and this is going to be a spoiler review, so I'm going to talk about spoilers later on. So just to let you guys know. Alright. If you want to hear my basic general reaction to the thing, I thought it was good. It's scary. It's got a few jump scares in it, so if you don't like jump scares, it might not be your thing. But they're minimal. It starts off with quite a few, but then it slowly builds up to more of a horror-esque, building up the tension kind of thing. Overall, I would probably say, as far as horrors go, it's fine. It's like a 7 out of 10. It's not gory either, so I wouldn't expect that, but it's got some good build-up is what I mean. But in my opinion, that build-up kind of fails at the end. So that's why I'm giving it a 7 and not an 8. Okay? So now from here on out, I'm going to do spoilers. So this is your spoiler warning. Excuse me. So I'm going to talk about spoilers now. If you want to watch it, because this movie's completely different. Well, not completely different. Obviously, there's some similarities, but it does take a lot of liberties with the original, and I get it. I get why it's not like the remake, and for that chance, I get why it's not like the book, but it kind of does it in a bad way. Right, so I'm going to get into spoilers, right? Okay. So I'm going to talk about some things that they changed from the original movie, which I liked, first of all, I think. So basically, the overall story is a family moves into a place. There's a pet cemetery. If you bury things there, they come back to life. At least there's a magical pet cemetery. There's two pet cemeteries. There's a regular one, and then there's the cursed one that was cursed by the Wendigo. So, cat dies. They One of the old guys that lives near them tells him that they can bury their cat. Well, he doesn't tell him in this one, which is kind of weird. Just takes their cat, gets a man to take the cat to the thing, and they bury it in the pet cemetery, and it comes back to life. See, this is where the first key difference came in. In the original, Judd, the old man who tells the guy about the dead cat, he lets him know about it. I don't know if it's in the original. I don't know about the book, but I feel like Judd should have told him, because Judd not telling him and burying the cat there, and the cat comes back to life. That cat could have done something real bad. At least if you warn him, give him pre-warning, it would have made much more sense. Judd in this just felt kind of weird. The actor was good. All the actors in this are real good. It was just kind of storyline-wise, it didn't make as much sense. So yeah, that was the first thing I noticed. The Wendigo's in it. I don't know if it's in the original book. I know the Wendigo is in the original book, Curse the Land, but like you see the Wendigo from far away at one point. In fact, the main guy sees it when he's about to bury someone. Right, so I'm gonna go further on with the story. This is one thing that I did really like is first off they don't kill off Gabe, the little boy, the little 2-year-old boy. So I know that's in the original book as well, so that's weird. They killed off the girl instead, and I actually thought that was really interesting and a good thing, because I thought the girl could lend itself more to the mother's sister. If you don't know, if you haven't watched Pet Sematary, the mother had a sister who had this real twisted, crooked back, and she died. I don't. Once again, in the first film, she died because of the back. In the second film, in this film, the remake, it gets they kind of just do a jump scare, and it kind of annoys me how she died. So she sent a lift for food up to her sister because she was too afraid to go upstairs to see her, and her sister must have like it jammed, so her sister must have went up to the thing even though she can't get out of bed. She must have somehow moved her bed over to there, and went down the chute, and essentially she died from that, which I thought was it was a cooler death, don't get me wrong, but like, just because she's got a crooked back don't mean she's got a crooked mind. Why the hell would she fall? How could she fall in there? Did she just food? Whoa! I thought, I just, I found, I get why they did that death. And I wouldn't have minded this so much, but there are quite a few plot things that just kind of don't make sense. Like, one, right, I I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna have to keep going back and forth between things. You're gonna have to excuse me. I'm not the best reviewer, but when they go up to bury things in this pet cemetery, in order to get to the magical one, you have to climb up this thing, and it's real difficult to climb up. I mean, he was struggling to climb up there with the cat, you know. So it's not easy to climb up there, and that's going to lead itself into something later on. So the cat, one thing I really liked about the cat is the cat actually does something in this one that's important to the story. So he's going to kill the cat, the main character, I forget his name, the dad, but he can't do it, so he takes the cat off in the middle of nowhere and just leaves him there. He tells it's his daughter's birthday, and his daughter's like sad because the cat ran away, and she blames herself. And then they all play, I think, hide and seek or something, and she runs off, goes to hide, and then she sees the cat on the road. She goes to see the cat, and is like, "Oh, you came back." Then Gabe, the little boy, runs out of the road, and you think to yourself, "Okay, this is when Gabe's gonna die." And the dad rushes out into the road, grabs Gabe, gets him out of the way. Gabe doesn't die, but the little girl does. I thought that was an interesting twist. I thought that was a nice twist. Gabe dying instead of no, little girl dying instead of Gabe. Ellie was her name, I think. Um, I thought that was an interesting twist, real good. I like that. I also thought to myself, well, that's going to lend itself real well to the sister and stuff. So then the girl, obviously, he eventually buries her. Um, he drugs the old dude, which to me, like, you didn't have to do that. I mean, but fine. Girl comes back, and she comes back at first kind of not normal, but like she doesn't kill anyone. In fact, she kind of just starts acting out later on and then starts killing people. Which, once again, this is kind of the weird thing, is that she didn't kill people at first. And all right, so this is where the movie starts to go downhill for me. Is after, because Judd eventually Judd wakes up. He comes to his house because his wife has gone off because the little girl died, and he comes to his house and basically knows that he's resurrected Ellie. So, and then he sees Ellie in the window, so he runs to his house and he gets his gun. And then there's a really cool kill with Judd. I'm not going to spoil that just yet, but it's a really cool kill. And at one point with Ellie, when she's killing Judd, her face transforms into his wife, which I thought was really cool. I thought to myself, oh man, they're going to use this for her sister. They're showing it off now because we don't really know his wife. It's not really that important, but they're showing it off so that when she kills her mother, she'll transform her face into her sister or something, and it'll be real cool. She doesn't do it again. She doesn't do it with her mother at all. Her mother just has nightmares about her sister. That's it. So the whole thing that I thought they were going to do, where it takes more from her sister because of the fact that it's a little girl, no, they don't do it. They don't do it. They don't do that. So her mother comes back and finds her alive, and naturally is really freaked out. She goes upstairs, runs upstairs and locks the door, and then the husband says, "Oh, she just your little girl says, oh, mummy doesn't want me here," and he's like, "No, she does want you here." And then she goes, "I don't want mummy here either." And I'm just like, dude, are you not gonna like just maybe think to yourself, oh, she's acting a bit weird, maybe I should stay with my wife? So he eventually goes over Judd's house, leaves his wife there. Girl picks up a knife, jumps on her mother, tries to stab her a bunch of times. Her mother manages to fight her off without getting stabbed too badly, grabs Gabe, runs away. She's like 10 years old, woman. Why don't you just whack her one? Like, you can clearly overpower her. Why are you letting her thing? And then she locks the door, she puts the thing in front of it, and then she sees her husband coming because her husband's coming back from Judd's after figuring out she's dead. She picks her boy up and says, take him, quick, before she comes in. He grabs her, and then she gets stabbed. And I'm just like, you can overpower a little girl. This is where my biggest problem comes in. It kind of all falls apart towards the end, because in the original, they make the little boy, yeah, he's a little boy. They know it. They know he can't just kill people, so he kills people through tactics. She killed Judd through tactics because she knew she couldn't beat him up in like a one-on-one fight. But in this, apparently, she can just easily overpower her mother. So then the husband runs upstairs after she's been killed, finds her, well, not fully killed, finds her half dead, and she goes, "Don't let her bury me." And he's like, oh, no. And then boom, she whacks him over the head with a chair, the little girl does. And I'm just like, why didn't she just kill him? And it's going to come into something later on. So she starts dragging her mother's body away. Now this is my biggest issue, is she starts dragging her mother's body away. You don't see what happens, and then he meets his daughter in the pet cemetery, the non-evil spirited one, and he attempts to kill her, and he gets killed by his wife, who it turns out, plot twist, has been resurrected. How in God's name did that little kid carry her all the way up the thing? They never told us, and they showed how difficult it was. They even specified that the Indians made that thing to stop people from getting up there. So how did a little girl who, she's not got super strength, she's dragging her mother across the floor, how did she get her up there and manage to bury her? It just doesn't make any sense. It don't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. It just falls apart at the end, unfortunately. And it's such a shame, because it's real good with the build-up. Really good with the build-up, actually. Real spooky, real good with the build-up. Absolutely amazing. Then he dies, and the ending is just... It's dark, and I understand it, but it's kind of, you know... it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. The kid, Gabe, the 2-year-old, is locked in the car. All three of the undead zombie things show up, and Dad's got gasoline, and then you hear the door unlock, and that's it. So overall, good movie up until Jed's death. It just all starts to fall apart at that point, because she says, oh, don't let her bury me. One, how did you know she was going to bury you there anyway? And B, all this happens in like 2 minutes, Mark. She says, don't let her bury me. He gets whacked over the head with a chair. She doesn't kill him, despite the fact he's going to die later on. You're going to get your mother to kill him, so why not just kill him there? You've got a knife. It's not like you can't. She drags her mother's body all the way up there, all the way up to the thing. It just doesn't make any sense. It just felt like they could have just done this with a somewhat decent thingy ending, where he killed his daughter and his wife is dead, but him and Gabe managed to get away. That would have been alright, I guess. I just don't think her burying her mother made any sense for the plot twist. But overall, great movie. It's got some real nice atmosphere during the beginning, all the way up to Jed's death. Jed's death's pretty cool as well. So yeah, I've been going on for way too long. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please go watch Pet Sematary though. It was still a good movie, and I do want more good horror movies to come out. I would like a lot more Stephen King novels as well to come out. So yeah, feel free to like this video. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.